Tried to shoot this video like 5 times now, and every time I shoot this video it comes out the wrong way. I'm trying to shoot it in such a way where I'm not being so pointed about my message. So I feel very strongly about a particular topic, and that is child pedophilia and child sex trafficking rings. And this is something I've been following for a long time, over a decade. And currently, we've made more progress in exposing these things than we have in a very long time. I remember in the past when I would get excited when an independent researcher, independent journalist would make a revelation and try to bring it to the surface and expose it. And those people would generally either be discredited by the mainstream media, ignored, or they would just flat out disappear. Now, I want to encourage everybody to think about the mainstream media and Hollywood. I want you to think about who those people are strongly affiliated with when it comes to their political alignment. I'm not even going to verbalize it. Just think about who a majority of those people are affiliated with when it comes to their political alignment and their alliances. So, that brings me to my next point. I have a hard time comprehending how certain people can have such hate and discontent for one person that they're willing to bypass, overlook, and disregard all the progress that's being made on this particular area. There's a percentage of people who believe that some person, an individual, needs to be removed from office by any means necessary. It doesn't matter who dies. It doesn't matter what's burned down to the ground. It doesn't matter whose lives are ruined. They just want to remove somebody by any means necessary. Now, for a certain portion of people in very high, powerful positions, that's completely understandable why they would want that individual gone by any means necessary. Hollywood actors, Hollywood itself, big tech, mainstream media, and a lot of our universities. Where is the political affiliation? I told you, I've said it before. When it comes to child sex trafficking and pedophilia, I don't care who's implicated. I don't care who's guilty. If they are, I don't care what their affiliation is. If they are guilty and they're proven to have ties with it, they need to be held accountable. But I think it's fair to say that there are more people on one side of the fence than on the other side of the fence that have a whole lot more to worry about. And if there's a power shift in November, I can promise you that a lot of those things that are being uncovered and brought to the surface, for whatever reason, I don't care what the motivation is, the results are the results. All that stuff is going to get buried again. There won't be such a push to expose all that stuff. Now remember, I want people to keep in mind, children don't have a voice. Children don't have a choice. Children are literally victims to whatever an adult decides to do with them. Children all over the world and children in this country are all they're snatched up from all over the place. So next time, like, you're sitting there thinking about your biases and how far you're willing to go to get your way, I just want you to understand, or just think about, just contemplate for a second, if your child was snatched up one day, didn't hear or see from them again, and you find out years down the road that they were sold, abused, murdered, and buried in a shallow grave for some person's sick pleasure and personal entertainment. I don't care about the politics in this. And when I bring it up, a lot of people want to bring up the politics in this. Politics are implicated. Politics is going to dictate what's going to continue to unravel and what's going to shift and be buried again. That's my concern when it comes to the political aspect of this, not who's involved. Now I get it. It's one of those things. It's a hard to swallow pill for a lot of people. It's the same reason why child molestation and rape inside the family home or in the family structure can go on for so long unacknowledged, because it'll destroy the family dynamic. It's easier to just pretend it didn't happen. And a lot of those people that are ruined, part of that reason that they're ruined is because even when they brought it up, nobody either A, wanted to believe it was happening, or they just didn't want to acknowledge it. It was easier to pretend like it wasn't happening. And I think that's what's happening right now in America on a broader scale. I don't care who your favorite actor is. I don't care who your favorite politician is. I don't care who your favorite representative of the community is. I don't care who your favorite, pastor, priest, whoever that person is. I don't care. You need to realize and recognize that we live in a country, we live in a world where there is an underlying sublayer of very disgusting things taking place right in front of our faces. It's being hidden in plain sight. And those in Hollywood that are guilty, and those in Hollywood that are aware of what's going on, but they're so deeply ingrained into the occult that even if they aren't specifically partaking themselves, will just pretend like it's not happening. Or willful ignorance to be like, oh no, that's not what's going on. I want people to wake up. People have to wake up. You really shouldn't let your personal politics, I don't even think it boils down to politics anymore. I just think there's some people that have let they're such a personal dislike for an individual gets so ingrained in them that they're willing to bypass and ignore a whole lot of other stuff that's going on. And that's scary. You think about it this way. You think if you get your way and a new regime comes into office, that everything that you thought was a problem is going to be fixed? You think that life is going to get better? I'm going to make a gentleman's bet. If in the event that a new regime takes over and a new power comes into place in November, everything is going to get worse. Nothing is going to get better. I'm willing to wager that. And we would have sacrificed the opportunity to expose a lot of sick people, and we would have traded that for the continuing degradation of what we consider to be traditional American principles. Think about it. This video is about child trafficking and pedophilia. But I want to end this with, if power shifts, your schools aren't going to get any better. Your job situation is not going to get any better. You're not going to be making any more money. Your situation, your personal situation, is going to be exactly what it was before, if not worse. And then we would have lost the opportunity, squandered away the opportunity to expose and bring to justice some of the sick elites in this country. Just recently, just a couple of days ago, 2 judges that were appointed by the previous administration overturned the requirement for Hillary Clinton to have to testify in September. So as of now, she no longer has to testify about her emails. Like I said, I don't care if the emails were hacked and it were taken illegally. The people who had an opportunity to go through those emails and see what they saw knows that there are some really nasty, shady things going on, and it has absolutely nothing to do with politics. There's something else going on. And we deserve to know what it is. You should care about what it is. I think it's a responsibility of a caring adult to want to know what that is. Child trafficking and pedophilia is big business. You want to know why? Because that child can be sold repeatedly. Repeat customers. I just want people to care. They need to care. And sometimes your personal politics and your perspective on things on a specific individual dull in comparison to what the big important ticket item is and what you should be worried about.